Welcome to the Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. We got a lot to cover today. My lead is going to be on the latest Trump assassination attempt over the weekend at Mar-a-Lago. What happened at the scene, there's multiple reports of the details. I'm going to go through all that. But the update that we have today, it's being widely reported in mainstream as well as the new media, the motivation of Austin Tucker Martin. Austin Tucker Martin is the Mar-a-Lago assassin from over the weekend. And it's being widely reported he was driven by an obsession he had over the Epstein files. And we're going to cover that. And those of you out there that are Epstein files obsessed, you should be ashamed of yourself. You really should be ashamed of yourselves. So we're going to go through all that. I'm going to go through the details of actually what happened. Now, there's a lot of other stories I'm going to cover too. And there are major big stories in the news this morning. But that's going to be my lead story. And I mean, thinking, how many assassination attempts have we had here in Florida against the president, right? Starting with the golf course assassin who's in prison right now. The sniper's nest at the Palm Beach, soon-to-be renamed Donald John Trump Airport. A few weeks back, we had the incident with the motorcade. There was an unidentified object found on the road in front of the motorcade. They went on a high-speed chase in an alternate route to get away from that. Remember that? And now this one. So that's 4 attempts just here in South Florida within just a couple of miles of Mar-a-Lago. And this one here, we got a lot of information on. Okay, so we are about 35 seconds away from going live on the radio. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. You're most certainly welcome to do that. Although you are going to have to keep the conversation to what we're talking about here. But I'm pretty steamed, to say the least. I'm really beyond just steamed. I am very angry at what's going on here, and you should be too. All right, we've got less than 10 seconds. The number is pinned in the live chat. Here we go. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. This is one of the biggest news days I've seen in a long time. I mean, we have so many news stories to cover. I'm going to cover them all on the program today. Lots of major breaking news taking place over the weekend, no doubt about that. But I'm going to start today with the latest assassination attempt against the president at Mar-a-Lago early yesterday morning. And I'm going to go through the details of what happened. And the details have been, I think, a little vague coming through, but I'm going to go through the details as we know them now, okay? But we now have the motivating factor into what happened and what drove this monster to attempt to assassinate President Trump at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend. This is being widely reported in both mainstream and in the new media and alt media. It's being widely reported. New York Post headline, Austin Tucker Martin, gunman shot dead by Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago, was obsessed with the Epstein files. That's in the New York Post. And, you know, when the Never Trumpers, yeah, you heard me. When the Never Trumpers attempted to assassinate President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, and I know a lot of you like me were watching it live, but if you didn't notice it then and you go back and look at it now, when the Never Trumpers shot the president in Butler, the crowd who did not run, first time I've ever seen a mass shooting event where the crowd didn't run, they stayed there. And I talked about this at the time. The reason the crowd in Butler stayed there and didn't run was 2 reasons. They wanted to make sure he was okay, but they also stayed to protect President Trump. Nobody knew what was coming, what was going to happen next, and they wanted to make sure that if anything did happen, they were there to protect him. That nothing like that has ever happened before. But if you go back and watch the video in Butler, people in the crowd, after President Trump got up and said, fight, 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 and they took him out, people in that SUV, people turned around and looked at the press and said to the press, you did this. This is your fault. Very true statements made by all of those who said that day. So now that we find out that that Austin Tucker Martin, the Mar-a-Lago assassin over the weekend, was obsessed with the Epstein files, those of you in this listening audience who call me and obsess with the Epstein files, you are responsible for this. You know, those of you that are regular listeners to the program, you've heard me over the past year or two, mostly during the last year since President Trump's second term, you've heard me many times taking calls from these Epstein-obsessed people, right? You've heard me talk to them many times. Have any of them been normal people? They're creepy, pervs, weirdos, and quite honest, frightening on occasion. Very frightening. These are sick, twisted people. I've gotten threats from some of them. I got a threat on Friday from a listener. You know who you are. Appropriate steps are being taken. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times on Friday, one individual sent me threatening messages. I don't share that lightly. I don't talk about such things very often until they're resolved. And appropriate actions have been taken. But these Epstein files people that have called me, have any of them sounded like normal people? You know, like the fake news media crafted this false narrative around President Trump that allowed the Never-Trumpers to recruit a patsy, Dylan Roof, to attempt to do what he attempted to do in Butler. Those of you obsessed with the Epstein files are responsible for this guy. And I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. You are sick, twisted people. You don't care about victims. You get on your, I just care about the victims. You're liars. Most of you are perverts who should spend your time on OnlyFans as opposed to listening to this great program. But what you really, all you obsess about is this. Slandering President Trump, trying to do damage so you can get some Democrat elected. But each and every single one of these Epstein-obsessed people that I've heard from on the phones over the years, all of them have been weirdos, freaks, pervs, or just frightening people, scary people. Would you agree with that in the audience? I'm not asking the people obsessed with the Epstein files that have called me. I'm talking to the normal people in the audience. And you've been spreading your poison, and now this has happened. So here's the New York Post article. The armed madman who was shot and killed by the Secret Service after he snuck onto President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate Sunday was reportedly obsessed with the Epstein files and implored others to raise awareness just days before the deadly encounter. Austin Tucker Martin, age 21, was gunned down by local Florida police and members of the Secret Service after he brandished his shotgun in a shooting position on Trump's property, according to authorities. This is the New York Post I'm reading from. He was reported missing by his family after he vanished on Saturday. His mother made a missing persons poster for him describing the silver Volkswagen he was likely driving. Bizarre text messages Martin swapped with a coworker on February 15th, just 1 week before he apparently embarked on a one-way trip to Florida, were obtained by TMZ. Martin, seemingly unprompted, shared his thoughts on the Epstein files with his coworker. I don't know if you read up on the Epstein files, but evil is real and unmistakable, he wrote. The best people like you and I can do is use what little influence we have. Tell other people about what you hear about the Epstein files and what the government is doing about it. Raise awareness, he added. His coworker never replied to the text. On Sunday morning, before Tucker's death was announced, the coworker texted, "Hey, where are you?" So maybe they had some thoughts that maybe they were the person who did this. The messages were sent in a secure RCS chat with the coworker. Tucker worked at a golf club in North Carolina where he lived with his parents. Other colleagues told TMZ that Martin was deeply disturbed by what he believed was a concerted government campaign to cover up the Epstein files so elites could continue getting away with it. They also said he voiced frustrations about the economy and how difficult it is for young people to afford to live on their own. He went the affordability crisis. They're trying to tell us this guy is a Trump supporter, by the way. Do you notice that? You notice how all these people that are trying to kill President Trump, the media tell us are Trump supporters? Does this guy sound like a Trump supporter? He's talking about the affordability manufactured crisis. He's talking about the Epstein files. He went so far, I lost my spot here, this New York Post. He went so far as to try to organize a union at the country club for higher wages, but no one supported the move. Sources also noted Martin was a vocal supporter of President Trump. Really? A vocal supporter of President Trump who's obsessed with the Epstein files, talking about affordability and trying to unionize? Does that sound like a MAGA guy to you? His cousin said the majority of his family backed Trump. See, this is the new thing with these assassins, right? Because their parents are Trump supporters, that transfers to the child. Trump supporters don't try to shoot the president. He wouldn't even hurt an ant. He doesn't even know how to use a gun, his cousin said. Yeah, well. Authorities haven't revealed a motive for the potential attack. Trump and First Lady Melania were at the White House at the time. The investigation is ongoing. So there you have it. We're going to take our first break of the week. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Man, I love Friendly Tire. I've been buying tires from Friendly Tire for 15-plus years. All the tires in my family come from Friendly Tires. My extended family go to Friendly Tire as well. Friendly Tire in Margate has the lowest tires that you'll find anywhere. We have listeners that drive very far just to get tires from Friendly Tire. The deals are that good. New tires out the door and on the road as low as $75 a tire. And remember, out the door and on the road means Friendly Tire in Margate doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. He has all the name brands you know and love: Firestone, Pirelli, Goodyear, name it. He can get them for you. He can get tires for any vehicle as well. He has good used tires in stock, thousands of them, for as low as $35 a tire out the door and on the road. Give Friendly Mike a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. All right. If you'd like to call in on this, you're more than welcome. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. That's the way it is. And those of you out there that are obsessed over the Epstein files, shame on you. Shame on you. I'm going to go through when we get back the details as we know them as of now. Now, this is a developing story, so these things will change as time goes on. But putting together the pieces of what actually happened at Mar-a-Lago. That's what I'm going to start to get into next. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Those of you that are Epstein files obsessed, shame on you. You did this, and I'm not kidding. You're spreading something about President Trump that you know is a damn lie, but you're just low-life scumbuckets. And like this loser, you probably live with your parents too, because you're not real men. And all you are about is slandering President Trump, because I guess he represents a daddy figure that thinks you shouldn't be living with mommy and daddy anymore, and you should get off your ass and go out and get a job and be a real man. And I guess you figure if Daddy Trump can be smeared and we get some metrosexual Democrat in there, you won't feel so inadequate. But you are very much responsible for this. Shame on you. Now, of course, you're too sick and unself-aware to accept any responsibility in your lies and slanders about President Trump, but I'm going to do it for you. Yeah, and if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go through the details when we get back from the break at what had happened. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Yeah, there's a lot I'm going to cover today, but I'm starting with this. I don't care. This has to be discussed. And I'm going to go through the details of exactly what happened when we get back. Let's see, when are we going to be back? Okay, we have just over a minute, and we'll be back. Callers on hold, don't go anywhere. I've been making a vlog. I started on Friday. It's going to be on my other channel, and I'll share it here so you guys can check it out when it's up. And I started Friday showing you what goes into the radio show and podcasting, and what a normal morning and day is like for those of you out there who think you want to be a full-time content creator / podcaster, radio host. All right, we got about 30 seconds. Yep. Subscribe if you're new, guys, and please like the video. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel, and that helps a lot. No, I'm not tolerating any of this garbage today. All right. We've got about 12 seconds and we'll be back. We're in radio station break. Yep, shame on you. That's right. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. You stand by. We're talking about the fourth assassination within really walking distance of Mar-a-Lago. I wouldn't want to walk from the golf course to Mar-a-Lago, but the golf course is down the street from the airport. But from the golf course assassination attempt until yesterday morning at 1:30 a.m., that is 4 assassination attempts within the perimeter of the area, within a couple of miles of Mar-a-Lago, in just a short period of time. And if you're just tuning in, the motivation for this psycho was released and is being widely reported. The attempted Trump assassin over the weekend at Mar-a-Lago was obsessed with the Epstein files. So let's get into the details of what happened. CNN headline, armed man shot and killed after entering perimeter around Trump's Florida home. U.S. Secret Service agents in Palm Beach County. The story is still developing. And I'm going to share a couple of different stories so we can get as much information as possible as to what exactly happened. U.S. Secret Service agents and Palm Beach County law enforcement shot and killed an armed man who unlawfully entered the secure perimeter at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in South Florida on Sunday morning, the Secret Service said. The president and First Lady were at the White House at the time of the incident. Trump was briefed on the incident Sunday morning, according to a White House official. The incident comes amid a backdrop of heightened political violence in the U.S. In July 2024, Trump survived an assassination attempt while campaigning for his second term in Pennsylvania. Another man who planned to assassinate the president at his golf course in September 24 was sentenced to life in prison. They've left out the motorcade incident and the sniper's nest at the airport, but, this is CNN. Political violence has targeted Republican and Democratic figures alike. I'm going to call BS on that one. My wife and I have given up profanity for Lent, and we're on the radio now. I couldn't use it anyway, but I almost called it what you would normally call that. What about, notice how they're trying to put in some, well, it's happening to the Democrats too. BS. And they get into Melissa Hortman. Melissa Hortman was killed by a Democrat, and with all the Somali pirate information, I'm guessing there was some connection between that. A white man in his early 20s, this is CNN, a white man in his early 20s entered the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago around 1:30 a.m. before he was shot by agents and a deputy with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. The man appeared to be carrying a shotgun and a fuel can, said Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. The man entered Mar-a-Lago through the north gate as an employee was walking out. He made it about 20 or 30 yards before he was confronted by law enforcement. Now this is the vague. Did he enter on foot or in his vehicle when the employee left? When a deputy and 2 Secret Service agents encountered the man, they ordered him to drop the items. The man dropped the gas can and raised the shotgun to a shooting position, Sheriff Bradshaw said. That's why I wonder, did he walk in or was he in his vehicle at this point? Because how did he drop the can and get in a shooting position if he was in this vehicle? The deputy and agents then fired their weapons at him, and he was pronounced dead at the scene, the sheriff said. He added that officers involved were wearing body cameras. The man is from North Carolina, was reported missing Saturday by his mother. The FBI is leading the investigation with teams collecting evidence and looking into his background and motive. Well, the FBI is in charge. Do you know what FBI office is in charge of this investigation into this assassin? Do you know which one? The Miami field office. Those are the ones that broke into Mar-a-Lago. So the same office that broke into Mar-a-Lago was in charge of the investigation. Were they in charge of the shotgun or the shooting nest investigation? Or what about what was ever in the road in front of the motorcade a few weeks back? No law enforcement officials were harmed in the incident. The Secret Service agents involved will be placed on administrative leave during the investigation. Secret Service Deputy Director said that the director of the CIA is traveling to Florida for after actions. Our teams remain fully engaged on the mission. Caroline Levitt praised the quick action of the Secret Service agents involved. Pam Bondi says she's been in touch with Trump about the incident and is coordinating with federal partners on the investigation. The agency is asking residents in the area of the shooting to check their exterior cameras and contact authorities if they notice anything suspicious. Okay, that's CNN. So there's some information missing. We don't know if did he enter in his car or on foot? I know some people have said it. I haven't seen a confirmation if he entered on his car with his car through the gate or on foot. Because the dropping of the gas can and getting into a shooting stance, that's not something you do while you're in a vehicle doing those two things. So I'd like to know. I'd like to know where his car was. Did it enter Mar-a-Lago? Did it not? Some have said it has, but some stories like this one aren't telling us anything. This is the latest from CNN. Did he park down the road and walk? And if so, how did he walk with a gas can and a shotgun? There's a lot of information here. I do have one more story that I'm going to go through after the bottom of the hour break, and we'll cover it. Now, I want to remind you guys, the second annual mega sale at MyPillow continues with our promo code Kane at checkout. You can get the mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Listen, Mother's Day is the next holiday that's coming around. Free shipping is still in effect with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. That will end without notice, and we're approaching the end of the month. So I don't know when it's going to end. It could end any day, and I expect it to end before the end of the month or by the end of the month, but it's there now. So this is the time to get mom Just a great new sleep system. Get Mom the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. Get her the MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Get her the MyPillow itself. And get Mom set up. She'll love it. That 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is life-changing. When I got mine, it changed my life. You think you need a new mattress because your mattress is uneven? It's lumpy, it's bumpy? That 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper turns your entire bed into a big MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. The mega sale continues on top MyPillow products with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. Free shipping on every order. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 800-716-4879. 800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back.
Want to level up your style and home? Welcome to Monumenta. Cozy cotton blankets, chic leather bags, playful cat backpacks, sleek Bluetooth record players, and stylish home essentials. Everything crafted to make your space comfortable, fun, and practical. Transform your kitchen, refresh your bathroom, and add personality to every corner. Shop at MONUMENA.com and grab 10% off with promo code MONUMENTA10 today. Monumenta. Style, comfort, and smart living. Meet Govero, your go-to destination for style, innovation, and practical solutions. Explore iconic designer bags, luxurious coats, sleek wallets, and high-performance tablet accessories crafted to elevate your everyday. Keep your gadgets protected, your wardrobe sharp, and even your little ones stylish with playful, functional finds. Unlock your first treasure. Visit GOLVERO.com and use code GOVERO10 at checkout to enjoy 10% off. Don't wait. Your next favorite find is just a click away. Make every choice smarter with Govero. Govero. Style, function, and smarter choices. Welcome to Ill Air, where style meets function in every corner. Vintage decor guides that spark nostalgia. Luxurious beds with hidden storage, playful cat towers, and fashion that moves with you. Each piece thoughtfully designed. Organize your routines, protect your pets, and refresh your home with ease. Act fast. Apply promo code ILAIR10 at ILIARE.com to claim 10% off your first discoveries and elevate your home instantly. Make every space smarter, every choice simpler. Ill Air, clever comfort, inspired living.
All right, we're still in radio break. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is the sheriff at his press conference, and this is usually where, whenever you see me live streaming up at Mar-a-Lago, this is usually where I'm at. This is where I park, and you see that's Mar-a-Lago behind the sheriff.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun.
Okay, let me go back, because they gave us some information.
Detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. The investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like, and they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time.
Okay, so there's the sheriff, the Palm Beach County Sheriff, and I don't see any details about whether he walked in or drove in, right? So that's from that press conference. So I'm hearing mixed reports. So, yeah, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll take some calls. We're still in radio station break. We'll be back in about 1 minute. The number to call in is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We have less than a minute, and we'll be back. I'll take some calls. But very upsetting. Very upsetting. I mean, this is the fifth assassination attempt from Butler to now. 5. Think about it. That's a lot. It really is. One's too many, but this is getting out of hand. Let me see here. Hang in there. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, we're talking about the latest assassination attempt on the president at Mar-a-Lago. We're trying to piece things together. Here's the Palm Beach County Sheriff, Bradshaw, outside of Mar-a-Lago yesterday morning with his press conference.
At 1:30 this morning, the security detail detected that a individual had made his way into the inner perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. A deputy and 2 Secret Service agents on the detail went to that area to investigate. They confronted a white male that was carrying a gas can and a shotgun. He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat. He is deceased at the scene. I'll give you a picture of the shotgun and the gas can to have with you. So that's what we know now. Investigation continues. The FBI is the lead investigation agency on this case, and we will be assisting them in whatever manner they would like. And they will be responsible for answering any other questions at an appropriate time.
Okay, so that's Sheriff Bradshaw, Palm Beach County Sheriff. See, now that was yesterday morning around 9:30, so he's not giving us any information as to whether he drove his car through the gate at Mar-a-Lago and then jumped out of the car, or did he park his car somewhere? All right, here's the latest from CNN. Maybe we can pick up some. I'm going through these stories trying to put together exactly what happened, and these reporters are just not good these days, and they don't put together very good. You got to read like 5 stories to get one thought together. CNN, armed man shot and killed after entering perimeter around Trump's Florida home. U.S. Secret Service agents and Palm Beach County law enforcement, CNN, shot and killed an armed man who unlawfully entered the secure perimeter at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in South Florida on Sunday morning. The president and first lady were at the White House in D.C. See, they just copy and paste and plagiarize each other. That's what I read in the last story. Trump was briefed on the incident Sunday morning. The incident comes amid a backdrop of heightened political violence on both sides. You got to call BS on all that. See, there's nothing here about whether or not. Let me pull up the AP has an updated story. Hold on. I just got an AP story here. Hold on. They call that an update? Let me pull up the AP. Okay, here's the AP story. Associated Press, this is the latest from AP. An armed man drove into the secure perimeter at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, so the Associated Press is reporting that he actually drove his vehicle into Mar-a-Lago. An armed man drove into the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago, President Trump's resort in Palm Beach, before being shot and killed early Sunday morning, according to the Secret Service. Although Trump often spends weekends at his resort, he was at the White House when the breach occurred. The man had a gas can and a shotgun. Investigators identified him as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. Authorities say his family had recently reported him missing. He's believed to have purchased the shotgun while driving south. Well, how did he drive and buy a shotgun on the way? How did he go in someplace without a waiting period and walk out with a gun? Did he have a concealed weapons permit? These reporters, I mean, where do they go to journalism school anymore? How do you walk in and buy a gun without a waiting period? The only way I know to do that is if you have a concealed weapons permit. He's believed to have purchased, this is the Associated Press, he's believed to have purchased his shotgun while driving south, as well as a box for the weapon were later discovered in his vehicle, according to the Secret Service. Investigators have not identified a motive. Yeah, well, we got the motive now. He was obsessed with the Epstein files, reported in the New York Post and many other news sources this morning. Investigators have not identified the motive, which we now know. The man entered the north gate of the property as another vehicle was exiting and was confronted by two Secret Service agents and a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy, according to Rick Bradshaw, the Palm Beach Sheriff. He was ordered to drop these two pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position, the sheriff said. The two agents fired their weapons to neutralize the threat. So was this inside the vehicle, or did he get out at this point? Because how do you drive the vehicle and have a gun and a gas can? You got to have one hand on the wheel. The Moore County Sheriff's Department in North Carolina said a relative reported him missing early Sunday morning, which we now have been told was his mother. Investigators are working to compile a psychological profile. I'll tell you, he's an Epstein obsessed lunatic. Now, I know they're trying to tell us he was a Trump supporter. They got some 19-year-old cousin who says he was a Trump supporter. Trump supporters don't try to assassinate the president. Every time there's an assassination attempt, they try to tell us that they were MAGA. MAGA people don't try to shoot the president. Investigators are working to compile a psychological profile. I got it. Liberal nutcase. That's it. That's the profile. Asked whether the man was previously known to law enforcement, the sheriff said not right now. The FBI encouraged residents who live near Mar-a-Lago to check any security cameras they may have for footage that could help investigators. In a post on X, Kash Patel said the Bureau would be dedicating all necessary resources to the investigation. On Sunday afternoon, vehicles blocked the entrance to a property listed in public records as an address for Martin at the end of a private road in North Carolina. His cousin reacted with disbelief. His cousin describes Martin as quiet, afraid of guns, and from a family of avid Trump supporters. See, this is one of the new things that they do, right? If your parents are Trump supporters, they identify you as a Trump supporter. They want to tell us that the furry friend assassin of Charlie Kirk was a Trump supporter. They want to tell us Dylan Roof in Pennsylvania was a Trump supporter. Now this, give me a break. He's a good kid, his cousin said. He's afraid of guns. What was he doing with the shotgun then? I wouldn't believe he'd do something like this. It's mind-blowing. He worked at a local golf course and donated money from each paycheck to charity. He wouldn't even hurt an ant, his cousin said. He doesn't even know how to use a gun. Well, if that part's true, how did he stop in and buy a gun and without a waiting period and walk out? On a Saturday, mind you. We are big Trump supporters, all of us, the cousin said. But his cousin was real quiet, never really talked about anything. So see how this is being misreported? The cousin did not say that the attempted assassin was a Trump supporter. He said he's a Trump supporter. The family are Trump supporters, but the cousin kept quiet. See, right here we got some truth from the AP article. I shouldn't have to search through multiple articles to put the pieces together. But reporters don't want to... This guy's not a Trump supporter. It's absurd. Let's see here if there's anything new. They get into the golf course assassin. And it goes on. Okay, that's all we have. And then they start to eat, and then the Associated Press tries to compare this to other political violence, and they go to Hortman again in Minnesota, who was killed by a Democrat. No, that's not the same. There's something with the Somali pirate fraud operation in the Hortman assassination, I'm telling you. All right, if you'd like to call in and share your thoughts on this, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. They really need to shut down that entire area around Mar-a-Lago. I know it's inconvenient for all the fancy rich residents of that area, but traffic should not be allowed up in that area. It's too dangerous. Too dangerous. Even when the president's not there, this happened. And of course, we got the motive now, which was his obsession with Jeffrey Epstein. And, you know, in the last year, we've gotten so many calls from these Epstein file obsessed people, of which this monster was also Epstein obsessed. All of them have been weird, scary, and pervs that have called the show. Not a single normal person has called about the Epstein files. They have nothing to do with President Trump. You all know this. He turned him in to the cops. It's been widely reported. And your obsession with slandering President Trump has led to this. Like the fake news media continually reporting for a decade that Trump's some Russian asset led to Dylan Roof being recruited by Never Trumpers. And God only knows what they did to recruit the Charlie Kirk assassin. You know, how many political assassinations and political assassination attempts do there need to be before you on the left, you Never Trumpers out there, start to get control of yourself? Well, there have been assassination attempts on other presidents, not as many as with this one. Charlie Kirk was the first civilian political assassination since Martin Luther King in 1968. So we go from 1968 to 2025 without a civilian political assassination, and then one happens. It's because of you Never Trumpers. Whichever your political philosophy is, it is because of you Never Trumpers. And that's the way it is. Now, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're welcome to call in and ask for forgiveness. Now, it is tax time. Have you called Jamie Levac at Swift Tax yet? Jamie Levac, not only does he know the tax code inside and out, he's going to make sure that you get all the deductions that you're entitled to under the new tax laws. And he's going to make sure that you get the largest return that you're owed as well. You know, with Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, you can get your tax return in as little as 24 hours. Pretty amazing, huh? Yeah, he's good. You know, when I met with him and he started talking about taxes to me, I was so impressed with his knowledge. But also, he loves doing taxes. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax can handle your taxes no matter where you are in the United States. Give him a call right now. You can call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. For Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. We'll be right back.
Gear up, glow up, and level up with Estery. From income-boosting guides and high-tech robotics to stylish fashion, versatile kitchen gadgets, and cozy pet accessories, everything here is built to make your routines smarter and smoother. Find multifunctional tools, sleek apparel, and must-have home and pet essentials in one place. Dive into ESTERIE.com and apply Estery 10 at checkout to claim 10% off your first finds. Explore, discover, and upgrade your world. Estery. Upgrade your style, tools, and comfort. Discover a world where luxury meets everyday living at Klados. Sink into Nordic plush sofas, stretch out on minimalist velvet loungers, or stay productive in ergonomic swivel chairs designed for comfort. Brighten your rooms with modern LED floor lamps. Showcase sophistication with glass coffee tables, and add a touch of elegance with designer handbags. Every piece is crafted to blend style, comfort, and practicality seamlessly. Browse CLAUDOS.com and enter Claude 10 at checkout to enjoy 10% off your picks. Your home deserves it. Klados. Live in comfort. Shine in style. Upgrade your style, home, and tech effortlessly with Wave Glow. From sleek leather belts and sporty sneakers to smart baby monitors, chic handbags, and statement lighting, every item is designed to simplify, beautify, and energize your space. Keep your home organized with clever gadgets and add elegance with decorative sinks or stylish kitchen pendants. Don't wait. Explore WAVEGLOW.shop and use Wave 10 at checkout for 10% off your picks. Wave Glow. Style, smart, simplify.
Steve Wells, $20 super chat. Thank you so much for that, Steve. And make sure you guys subscribe if you're new, and please like the video. Liking the video gets it recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. And I know a lot of you out there have used that new boost option that they have on YouTube. Thanks for doing that, and that helps a lot too. So if you take advantage of that, that'd be awesome as well. We've got just over a minute until we're back from the radio station break. I'm going to go through this article, too. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is a big story. And this happened because of this Epstein Files obsession. And, I was talking in a live stream before the show this morning. Why are these conservative influencers doing these nonstop Epstein File shows? I mean, Benny Johnson had another Epstein video yesterday about Epstein getting special treatment at Disney World. How many videos has Benny Johnson done on Epstein in the last month? A dozen at least. And a lot of conservative influencers do it because it's good for clicks, I guess, as opposed to having some sense and integrity. But those of you that are obsessed with that issue, you're responsible for this. And I'm holding your feet to the fire without apology. All right, we got 20 seconds. The number to call in is toll-free and is pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, I'm continuing to cover what's happened with this latest Trump assassination attempt at Mar-a-Lago, and we've been breaking. I do have a lot of other stories that I'm going to cover today, but this one is what I consider to be the lead story because now that we have the motivation, which is his obsession with the Epstein files. Now we know why this happened. Luckily, the president was not there this weekend, which is very unusual this time of year. During these cold winter months is when the president comes to Mar-a-Lago. This is the Daily Mail. Headline, gunman shot dead at Mar-a-Lago was obsessed with Epstein cover-up, came from family of avid Trump supporters. See, again, trying to call another attempted assassin a Trump supporter because his parents are. This is the Daily Mail. The man who entered Trump's Mar-a-Lago property with a shotgun and gas canister comes from a family of Trump supporters and became obsessed by the administration's handling of the Epstein files. Austin Tucker Martin, age 21, was shot and killed Sunday morning after entering Mar-a-Lago. His cousin, they keep quoting the cousin, who talked to TMZ, I guess. A text message uncovered by TMZ shows that the attempted assassin, that's Martin, may have been influenced by the Department of Justice's release of the files related to dead pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. On February 15th, just a week before he was killed by law enforcement, this is reported in the Daily Mail, he texted a coworker in North Carolina. I don't know if you read up on the Epstein files, but evil is real and unmistakable. This is Martin, the attempted assassin. The best people like you and I can do is use what little influence we have. Tell other people about what you hear about the Epstein files and what the government is doing about it. Raise awareness. See, another Epstein-obsessed lunatic. And remember, Trump released all those files by law. Co-workers said Martin was open about his Christian faith, was fixated on the Epstein saga, and said he would talk about the elites getting away with it. They also described him as becoming increasingly frustrated by the state of the U.S. economy. His cousin describes him as quiet, afraid of guns, and from a family of avid Trump supporters. See, big difference. His family were Trump supporters. His cousin said he's a good kid. Yeah, really? Who tries to assassinate presidents? I don't think so. He lived with his parents, of course. He was an artist. It goes on and on about all of that. He was reported missing. We got all of that. On Sunday afternoon, vehicles blocked the entrance to Mar-a-Lago. They blocked the entrance of his home in North Carolina. Okay, nothing else new. All right, there we have it. But we have multiple reports, so we can establish it as fact that the Epstein files conspiracy among these weirdos, freaks, and losers in the Never Trumper community are what brought him in. And I'm really, I'm very curious about the shotgun, because they keep telling us that he picked up the shotgun on the way to Mar-a-Lago. One story I read earlier said he bought the shotgun on the way. You can't buy a gun and walk out of the store with it unless you have a concealed weapons permit. Not only have I not seen anything that says he's a concealed weapons permit holder, but his cousin said that he was afraid of guns. So would somebody afraid of guns have a concealed weapons permit? So how did he get this gun? Did he do some kind of pre-purchase and picked it up along the way and did wait the waiting period? Did he have a concealed weapons permit and walk out with it, which you can do? Or did he pick it up from someone along the way? And there's no way that you get to Mar-a-Lago by vehicle on Florida roads and not have your picture taken all along the way. Did he take I-95 or the Turnpike? Where are the images from the cameras along the way at the intersections on Donald John Trump Boulevard, which is the new name of Southern Boulevard in Palm Beach? Now, there's a lot of information here that's missing from all of these articles, and I'm trying to piece them all together. All right, we're going to go to the phones. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You look handsome and cute, and I can't wait.
Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Shelley. I'm calling from Ohio.
Okay, Shelley in Ohio.
I just want to, your topic is the Epstein files.
No,
right?
it's not. No, we're talking. No, it's not. Are you watching the show? No, excuse me. Are you watching and listening to the show?
Yes, you said the shooter, right?
The attempted, there was an assassination attempt on President Trump yesterday morning, early, around 1:30 in the morning. And now this morning, it is being reported that his motivation was his obsession over the Epstein files. We're not talking about the Epstein. We're not talking about the Epstein files. We're talking about the assassination.
Okay, I misspoke. But here's my take on it. Are you saying that because he was obsessed with trying to prove that Trump was in it? Is that the conspiracy? Because I think that the Epstein files do matter. And we could.
Well, shame on you. You know. There's a rule in radio. Shame on you.
Hear me out.
No, I'm not going to. No. We're not talking about the Epstein files.
Because it's not about Trump.
No, we're not talking. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. Listen, there's a. Thank you for your call. These people are all psychos. There's a rule of thumb in broadcasting. Okay. But then again, you got to have decency. And these Epstein people don't have decency. When there's a plane crash, you don't run ads on television or radio advertising flying on planes. That's a real rule of thumb. And I've been at radio stations when there have been plane crashes and we had to pull spots. When someone tries to kill the President of the United States over their obsession with the Epstein files, you don't talk about the Epstein files, psycho. My goodness. Bunch of perverts and weirdos obsessed with that stuff. Shame on all of you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I'm thinking this guy couldn't be that insane. I think what he is wanting to commit suicide, and he figured he'll let.
What do you base that on? Doug, I've read through 3 or 4 stories today. What did you get that at?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I've gone through 3 or 4 stories detailing everything about this guy. No, he was obsessed with the Epstein files. He obtained a shotgun on the way from North Carolina, and he went to try to kill the president over that. And you're just making crap up.
No, I'm just thinking, how insane could somebody possibly be to think they're going to go get into Mar-a-Lago, go 3
He got
feet,
in.
and not be shot dead?
Listen.
Exactly.
It doesn't. Who said that he expected to leave alive?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know, and I know, Doug, I appreciate the call. And I know some of you may think that I'm a little hot under the collar today. These never-Trumpers killed Charlie Kirk, and there's been 4 assassinations, including between Butler and now, against President Trump. Of course I'm upset. And you should be too. And, listen, as far as getting the golf course assassin lived, John Hinckley, who shot Reagan, is walking free today. Should be there forever in jail. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. How are you doing?
Not well.
I understand. I do not trust the Secret Service. I do not trust the FBI. He needs military police.
Yeah, turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on in the background.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. But you're absolutely correct. But it's very concerning to me that in charge. Are you back with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very concerning that the office in charge of investigating this incident at Mar-a-Lago is the Miami FBI field office. The Miami FBI the FBI field office in Miami are the ones that broke into Mar-a-Lago. Remember that?
Yes, that's why I say that the FBI and the CIA, they're around him. I do not trust them one bit. He needs military police.
Yeah, the Secret Service is incompetent. This guy got on Mar-a-Lago property. How did
he make it? How did he make it through the gate without?
He got in. He got in. We don't know if he drove. One says he drove in. Some say he went in. It's vague. But an employee was leaving, and he entered as the gate was open for an employee who was leaving at 1:30 in the morning. Listen, I'm up against the top of the hour break, but I agree with you. The president needs to have military security. I'm sorry for losing my cool, but I mean, come on. Aren't you guys angry? You should be. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. Call us on hold. Don't go anywhere. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back after this. I mean, how could you not be upset, guys? How could you not be upset? I know you guys are. I'm not alone. We're all upset. Well, not all. The liberals are not. The never-Trumpers aren't. But I'm upset. You're upset. We'll be right back.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free. For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
All right, hang in, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. We're still in radio station break. I'm looking for some of my commercial copy. Hold on, I can't find some of my commercial copy. Here. Okay, found it. Okay, good. Good. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to continue to cover what's going on here with this assassination attempt. Another one. I mean, how many? You know. By the way, you become a member, you get access to all those cool emojis. Your name stands out in the chat. Thanks so much, Stephen, for doing that. All right. Yeah, I am upset. I'm really trying to be cool, but the 4th assassination attempt. How could you not be upset? Call us on hold, stand by. We got just over a minute. Yep. If you want to call in, the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'll go to the phones when we get back. I'll do a quick recap for the radio audience of what we're talking about, and then I'm going to go to the phones. But behave yourself. You can tell I have little patience, and we will not be talking about the Epstein files. That's what led to this. Shame on you. We got about 30 seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go to the phones. And those of you that are new, you can always call me live on the air right here. The calls are screenless. No one answers the phones. I just put you on hold. All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Okay, we're talking about the 4th assassination attempt on President Trump. Here, the golf course, the sniper's nest at the airport, right? Whatever happened with the motorcade in Palm Beach a few weeks ago, and now this. And there's 2 openings on our board at 888-465-2631. We got some updates and some questions, okay, on the Mar-a-Lago attempted Trump assassin from yesterday morning. It has been reported in multiple sources that his obsession with the Epstein files led to this, so we know that. This assassin has multiple Ukrainian connections. I believe that the Charlie Kirk assassin was a patsy from the Never Trumpers as well. So how did this guy get the shotgun? You can't walk in and walk out with a gun without a permit. So did someone give him the gun along the way? Did he do a private purchase from someone along the way? If so, who and how? These are questions we don't have the answers to. The number is 888-465-2631. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hold on. I'm having a hard time hearing here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me try this line. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You're pretty worked up today, aren't you?
Yes. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian. IB.
Hey, IB.
Wow, man. You know, I think you can say something is secured. Trump needs to put these either, like the lady says, military or have more Secret Service because he can give himself more Secret Service, and he needs
the
to have
Secret Service.
outside.
I mean, we have like 5 assassination attempts from Butler till now. The Secret Service is incompetent. This guy got on Mar-a-Lago property.
They need to be outside, just like they saw you in a heartbeat. They have night vision stuff that they can see anyone out there at night. They need to have like the Secret Service need to be outside sitting like they're in cop cars, and they need to take rotations, and they need to have someone like a main guy having them check in every 50 and every 20 minutes that there is nothing happening. They need to be at the bridge of that gate as people come down off that gate. They need to be at all of the doors. Obviously, they need to have boat in the water and someone out there in the back. But they need to be on a constant rotation and not sitting inside comfortable laxy-daisy. And we don't know which one of them don't really like Trump. So,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that the Secret Service, every step of the way, has shown that they're not elite anymore. I'm sorry. I mean, there's been 5 attempts on the president a couple weeks ago, the golf course, and now this. All right, that's 5.
Yeah. I mean. The sniper saw the guy in Butler. The golf course Secret Service missed the guy, shot at him 4 or 5 times, and wasn't able to pursue that guy. He should have never made it to the expressway. There's such incompetence here, man. I don't know what needs to be done, but Cash Patel,
and a lot of this is the media and the Never Trumpers who have no common decency. Are working people up about things.
Someone else was exiting. This is the reason why we need to have a car on the outside, always on the outside, and not everyone always inside, because now you're reactionary. You're not. I mean, like, even though they have the best surveillance equipment, how could they not see a person lingering for 2 seconds out there? I don't get how the person could just automatically come in and the timing and just drive in as a person is driving out, or walk in as the car is driving out. That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
No. I mean,
I don't get that
we always thought that the Secret Service were the elite of the elite, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Conflicting reports, because I can't nail. We know he entered Mar-a-Lago. The sheriff said, Sheriff Bradshaw, the Palm Beach County Sheriff, said he had a shotgun and a gas can. Do that inside a vehicle? Or was he outside a vehicle in the Mar-a-Lago and get out of the vehicle? There's a lot of information that's being left out.
See, that's the point. How long was the vehicle outside of the wall?
We don't know where. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
That's what we should know.
All right, IB. I agree with everything you said. We should know. Yeah, and the reporters aren't. I didn't go live with. I could have yesterday. Because I do a lot of podcasting and live streaming on YouTube over the weekend. You guys know that, and I know some of you were wondering why I didn't do that yesterday. We just didn't have enough information yet. And I didn't want to, before we had, something just stunk. Not a lot of information. And I wanted more information before I went with it. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, so I thought that sounds really exciting, something new.
Can you speak clearly?
I'm from California.
All right, California.
Yeah. So Trump has this new initiative for the kids, and it's like this.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the assassination attempt on catch up. All right, appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Laporta Roofing. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing has been with us for many years on the program, and we found Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing out of necessity, because you know how I tell you guys, if you got Steve had a wet spot on his ceiling, didn't call anyone. And then the spot got bigger and bigger. Then he had a second spot. Then he had a spot here that was wet, a spot there. I mean, it was insane. So we called Tom Laporta then. Tom Laporta went to his house and found out that because Steve ignored that, was absorbed by the drywall in the house. So his drywall was filled with deadly black mold that he and his family did. If when he saw that first wet spot on the ceiling, he would have called Tom Laporta. Tom Laporta covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He's a good MAGA guy who will never sell you a roof you do not need. Call or text Tom Laporta right now, 954-606-02. And online, laportaroofing.com. We'll be right back.
Experience solutions that redefine your space. High-capacity solar power stations keep you prepared, while adjustable temperature units handle demanding tasks effortlessly. Stargazing? Explore the cosmos with a high-powered telescope. Entertain in style with gold and white dining tables, and relax in leather rocking chairs or full-body massage.com, and use Opulante 10 at checkout for 10% off your first find. Opulante. Big savings, everyday essentials, style that stands out. That's Premiana. Power up with fast wall chargers. Stay on track with smart wallet trackers and refresh your space with clever home organizers and accessories. Step out in sporty sneakers and comfortable flare leggings. Then sharpen your thinking with creative digital guides designed to spark new ideas. Tech, fashion, home, and personal growth. All curated for value and at checkout for 10% off your order. Premiana. What if professional design didn't cost a fortune and you could create it yourself in just minutes? With DCM Designs on Etsy, patients, flyers, social media graphics, newsletters, business cards, menus, travel guides, logos, and that's just the beginning. Just go to DCM Designs and your brand or event instantly looks polished and professional. If you need help, Carrie offers custom edits. Whether you're launching a business, planning a party, or upgrading your online look, DCM Designs makes great design simple, affordable, and creative. What are you waiting for? Go right now to dcmdesignsinc.etsy.com.
All right, we will be back shortly. We've got about 40 seconds, and we'll be back on the radio. We're still in radio break. All right, we are back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, we have some big problems here in Florida. By the way, if you're on hold about the attempted assassination of the president, hang in there. We will go back to that story. But we've got a big problem here in Florida. This is a big one. And it's one that we've got to take care of, and take care of it fast. All right? And here's what it is. Donald's. This guy, Fishsticks, is a terrible Republican. Byron Donalds is my guy. All right? We're having some technical issues. Hold on. At the radio station. So I'm just communicating with running in the Republican primary against Byron Donalds. And he is running a well-organized machine of a campaign that is getting so much attention. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna connect to the radio station. All right, so let's. I'm not sure exactly how to do this. Okay, listen, Mike, if you can hear me, let's take a break, and then I'm going to call you during the break, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do because we're having some connectivity issues today. We'll be right back. Hey. Okay, so how do you want to do it? I mean, yeah, I've checked on my laptop and two phone. The feed's fine here. I checked, so it's got to be on your end. Like a speakerphone? Is there a way for you to connect? I would have to call on my, yeah. And then how would I take, can you connect to the phone? You understand what I mean? Okay, so we're in break now? Okay, let me do it real quick. What's the number? Yeah, I think that would be the same problem if I was there in person, because the feed to 95.9 during the breaks is choppy. There? Mike? You there? Mike, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's feed.
Let's see what I can do if it might.
And you can't hear on hold.
Gotcha.
How's it sound?
It sounds decent enough. It sounds good enough. If we do it that way.
Can you hit mute?
Brian, I'm gonna try something. Text me if it still does it. Okay? I'm gonna see if this works.
On the phone, okay.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? How's that working? Because I'm not. You hit mute. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How's that? Okay. Give me the countdown to come back. Play the rejoin and I'll come back. Just give me the time and I'll come back then. And then as soon as, hopefully at the bottom of the hour, the internet will be working again. Text me the time and then I'll come back. All right. Okay. At the radio station today. So if you're listening on the radio, it might sound a little funny right now. It's being worked on and will be corrected shortly. Okay, if you're on hold here in Florida and it's James Fishbeck, I call him Fishsticks. Byron Donalds is the Trump-endorsed candidate for governor, and a while back, and then he kind of went off my radar, Fishsticks, and then at the end of last week, I started seeing him all over the internet. And then over the weekend, and my social media feeds, it was clip at in Naples. What's that called? Seeds of Life or something like that. There's a very popular MAGA grocery store in Naples, Florida, on the coast of Florida. So he did Fishsticks did a town hall meeting over there. Bet David, okay? She used to work for Patrick Bet David. And because she worked, and it was a big town hall. And I saw I saw him all over social media over the weekend. I saw him at this town hall, and I thought, okay, he's all over the place, but he's got some trendy thing going. Social media advertising that's allowing it to happen, things like this. And that's kind of how I excused it until yesterday, and I started seeing all these videos of him, video clips of him all over the state of Florida, involved in various discussions with various people. And then he had this one, Fishsticks has this one video all over X of him doing this Wyatt Earp act where he comes out on the front steps of his campaign headquarters with an AR-15 and makes this bold statement. It was very strange. But I just thought, well, you know what? He's got some big social media marketing agency, and they're pushing this stuff on everyone's feed. That's what I told myself on Friday and Saturday. And then yesterday morning, as I'm going through my feed, I saw that he had a big event near Jacksonville, a rally, and it wasn't young people, it was older people too, and it was packed. It was packed. There were hundreds of people who came out to see Fishsticks. And this event over in Naples at the grocery store, the town hall we did at the MAGA grocery store, there were a few hundred people there. And I've seen some other events that he's been at, and there's been large turnouts everywhere. And my concern is that Byron Donalds is not taking Fishsticks as a true threat. That Fishsticks, he figures, is a joke. And I know he seems like a joke, but he's not. He's picking up steam. He's well organized. I don't believe him to be a true MAGA Republican. I think he's cosplaying Republican. I think this is some type of Republican establishment, never Trumper op. But if Fishsticks becomes the nominee of the Republican Party, and it is entirely possible with what's going on right now, the Democrats have a chance at winning back the governor's mansion in Tallahassee. And could you imagine what they'll do to reverse all the great work that Ron DeSantis has done? Now, I can't share this with you on the air because more information needs to be confirmed about it. But this guy is, Fishsticks is filled with scandal. And Byron Donalds and him have a debate coming up. And these scandals need to be exposed before and during that debate. And Byron Donalds, it's very important for Byron Donalds to win the Republican primary. But Fishsticks here, I believe, has the possibility of actually beating him if he doesn't correct things. And the scandals involving Fishsticks are enough to run anyone out of a campaign. On top of that, I mean, he's total cosplay Republican. As an example, over the weekend, Fishsticks said that men who cheat on their wives during the divorce should not get any, they shouldn't split the property, that everything should go to the wife. And what a weird thing to say. And then over this weekend, the Daily Mail have a story interviewing Byron Donalds' first wife, his ex-wife, who of course is trashing him. And they're talking about scandal and all of this stuff. There's too much coordinated effort with what Fishsticks was talking about and what the Daily Mail was reporting. And I am worried about. Now, I could sit here and tell you there's nothing to worry about. Oh, Byron's got it. But I'm not going to do that. This is a serious thing. Fishsticks is he's well-funded and well-organized. Okay? And his campaign is turning out at every event hundreds of people. Now, how those hundreds of people wind up at his events, I don't know. But when I saw him at that MAGA grocery store in Naples, I was like, what? How'd that happen? So, if Byron Donalds does not expose Fishsticks and do it quick, we're in trouble. And this debate they have coming up will be fine, but it cannot be a debate on policy. It's got to be a debate to run this guy out of the race. He's also anti-Israel. He has another, he made a statement over the weekend that he would never meet with, if Netanyahu comes to Florida when he's governor, he won't meet with him, all this stuff. So he's in that new wing of conservative influencers that are anti-Israel and anti-Semitic. They hide behind this America first. I'm not anti-Semitic. Oh, no, I'm not against Israel. I'm just America first. I don't buy any of that nonsense. And you know what? I don't think anyone does. That's what they hide behind. But no, this is very bad news, people. Not only is this bad news, I'm not sure Byron Donalds knows that Fishsticks is a real threat in the primary. I just don't know if he takes it serious or not. If you go and look him up on X, and it's not hard to do because he's pumping X filled with all kinds of things about him lately. He's a you know who he looks like to me? That coach of the Miami Dolphins they just fired is who he looks like to me. He's what he's doing is he's cosplaying Republican. This story about punishing the husbands in the divorce, right, and all this stuff. These are the kinds of things that people that are not Republicans, that are fake Republicans, think are true about Republicans that aren't, right? So there's a lot of cosplay. And I know a lot of people will say, what are you talking about, Brian? This guy's no threat to Byron Donalds. He has Trump's endorsement. What are you talking about? You're clutching your pearls. I'm here to tell you that this guy is running a ground game in Florida like I've never seen anyone do running for governor. And I've followed a lot of campaigns of both Republicans and Democrats in Florida gubernatorial politics. This guy, he's running a campaign very similar to what DeSantis did. He is showing up at some place in Florida every day with lots of people and holding a town hall. He even had one at Disney Springs at Walt Disney World at a Starbucks. And that turned into a viral moment because they kicked him out because he was talking. It was a political event. So we've got to take him very serious right now. And I think the conventional wisdom is he's not a threat to Byron Donalds. Maybe he's not, but perception is very important. When you're in these political campaigns, and whether it's organic or not, as far as I know, these could be paid people showing up at the events. They could have rented out the grocery store for the town hall podcast event. I don't know how these things happened, but I do know this: every day, Fishsticks, as at some campaign event somewhere in Florida, there's at least a couple hundred people at every one, and clips of it go viral on X, and I'm sure on TikTok as well. I don't have TikTok or use TikTok, but the videos seem very TikTok-like that I'm seeing on X. So I think there is a perception growing here in the state of Florida that Fishback here is gaining steam, and whatever's real or not is not as important as the perception. And Byron Donalds, it's so important for Byron Donalds to become the next governor of the state of Florida. With Ron DeSantis and all of his flaws, he's done a lot of great things as governor, a lot of great things, and we need to continue that. This is the most MAGA state in the United States, Florida. We're the third most populated state. We're about to become number 2. And when they update the census and congressional districts, we're going to gain a lot of House seats. It's important for us to have Byron Donalds as governor. And Fishsticks, whoever is behind him, whatever, it's not about him becoming governor. It's about making sure that Byron Donalds doesn't become governor. And if Fishsticks becomes the nominee of the Republican Party, and the way it looks now, it's possible. I haven't seen any polls, okay? But it is possible for him to win the nomination in the primary. And God help us if he does, because Republican turnout in a midterm election, turnouts are always low in midterm elections. And, I tell you guys, we will win the midterms if we swamp them at the polls. But if we don't have a swamp, overwhelming presidential election season-like voter turnout, we'll lose. And if Fishsticks becomes the Republican nominee for governor of Florida, Republican turnout in Florida may be incredibly low because Republicans are not going to be motivated to go out and vote for that guy. They're not going to want to vote for him. MAGA Republicans in this state are not going to want to vote for this guy. And Mamdani came in on a primary. Mamdani won the we're talking about a primary here, right? And the other side, the enemies of MAGA, their strategy is around primaries and special elections, when voter turnout is at its lowest. If you think voter turnout's low during the midterm elections, what do you think they are during the midterm primaries? Right. So if we have an average off-year primary turnout, which will be low, Fishsticks here could win the Republican nomination for governor of Florida. I'm not kidding. Mamdani won the primary and made himself the mayor of New York City. And the reason that Mamdani won the primary is because, like Fishsticks, no one other than me is taking him as a serious threat to Byron Donalds. And Governor Cuomo, who is running in the primary through his arrogance and then low voter turnout, and because Mamdani's people were able to turn out a lot of people on a lowly paid attention to primary, he won the Democrat nomination. And that's why we have this idiot as the mayor of our greatest city right now, Mamdani. So Fishsticks here, his whole strategy is modeled, whether on purpose or accidentally. It could be the same people, for all I know, behind it all. Fishsticks, his strategy is modeled after the Mamdani strategy. And that could cost us the governor's race. Now, there is hope, because Fishsticks is incredibly flawed with major scandal that I can't share with you on the air right now. If you look him up online, you can read about it, but I need more confirmation from mainstream sources before I go public with it. However, the scandals are enough. If Byron Donalds and his campaign start running ads about them and confront him with it in a very clever way in the campaign, we could win. I don't know who's managing morning, and I am serious as a heart attack. No one took Mamdani serious, and now he's mayor of New York City. And being mayor of New York City is a bigger deal than being governor of most states. Okay, whoever is running the Byron Donalds campaign needs to immediately bring in 2 people to be consultants on the campaign, major consultants. Steve Bannon and Roger Stone. Steve Bannon and Roger Stone, and Dick Morris, by the way, but definitely Steve Bannon. Do you know when things were over for Hillary Clinton in the first campaign? Do you guys remember? It was because of Steve Bannon. Do you remember when they were over? There was one moment where things completely turned against Hillary and there was no chance of recovery. Do you remember what it was? The Clinton accusers to have a press conference with the president right before the debate with Hillary Clinton. He knows campaigning. And Roger Stone, he knows campaigning and politics, and he also knows Florida politics. So Steve Bannon and Roger Stone need to be brought into the Byron Donalds campaign. And, you know, many an incumbent. Now, again, Byron Donalds isn't an incumbent. He's a city member of the House, but so was DeSantis. But I've seen incumbents lose because they didn't take primary threats as a serious threat. I've seen this in congressional races. There have been, how many Congress people have lost primaries and then it's over, right? So how do people that have been in the Congress lose a primary? You know how they lose a primary? By not taking their opponent serious, figuring they got name recognition. That's what Governor Cuomo did in New York. Many a House member has done that. I remember the late, great Sheriff Nick Navarro, the greatest sheriff Broward County has ever had. You guys remember Sheriff Nick? Oh, man. Sheriff Nick was not only the greatest lawman that Florida has ever seen and the greatest sheriff Broward County ever had. He was Cuban-American, but he was like a sheriff in the old Wild West. And because of knowing Steve, I was very lucky to personally know Sheriff Nick Navarro, and this guy was amazing. I mean, I remember one time he was out to dinner at a black tie event, and he at Burton Jack's in Port Everglades, and he left, the sheriff, and he pulled somebody over on a traffic stop wearing a tuxedo. I mean, that Sheriff Nick, he was the guy, and I remember he lost his primary. I couldn't believe it. There was and he lost his primary. There was never someone so popular in Broward County politics as Sheriff Nick Navarro, and he lost his primary because the opponents targeted him in a primary with a Republican that couldn't, that was a joke. I can't remember who he lost the primary to, but this is what they do. So Fishsticks' entire strategy is based on a strategy that has a long history of success. Democrats can't win in a general election, but they win and they primary people out of office. And I don't believe Fishsticks is a MAGA Republican. I don't care what he says. I don't trust this guy, and I don't believe he's a true conservative MAGA Republican. I don't care what he says. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. The things I hear him say, And the establishment Republicans don't want Byron Donalds to win because he's a MAGA Republican. The Democrats don't want Byron Donalds to win because he's a black Republican. He'll be the first black governor elected in the state of Florida. There may have been a black governor after the Civil War. The Republicans appointed governors, and they appointed a lot of blacks to be governors and senators and such. But Byron Donalds would be the first black governor elected in the state of Florida, and a Republican. There's a lot of people that don't want to see that happen in Florida. All right, we're going to take our break. We're having some technical issues at the radio station, as you can tell if you're listening on the radio. Hopefully those will get worked out soon. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig, and I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment are absolutely amazing. His laser away pain treatment has rid me of pain 7 times. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard. Arthritis, bursitis, bone-on-bone, gout, TMJ, pre-surgical, post-surgical pain, neck injuries, back injuries, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, spinal stenosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, rotary tears, herniated disc, acute pain, chronic pain. Very incomplete list there. But the laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton rids you of that pain with no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. It's 100% painless. You don't even feel it when it's happening. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are never necessary. That's right. And the consultation is free. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Go see Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain. We'll be right back.
The cold.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free. For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
All right. It looks like we worked everything out at the radio station. Okay.
When I entered
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Looks like we worked out the problems at the radio station, which is good. I appreciate that. Welcome back, everyone. Those of you that have been on hold, thanks for holding. If you'd like to call in, you're welcome to call in about anything we've talked about this morning at 888-465-2631. I want to finish up, though, with this Fishbeck and Byron Donalds. The state of Florida, I have followed every governor's race since I was a little kid here in Florida. We've had some good governors. Rick Scott, who's our one of our senators now, he is was a great governor. I'm not going to get into what he did. He did great things other than, we don't lose power during hurricanes like we used to as a direct result of him. You can get gas at gas stations after hurricanes because of Rick Scott. He was a great governor, great, competent governor. Ron DeSantis betrayed us, and we got a lot of problems with Ron DeSantis. Of course, we all do, but he's been a great governor. And we're about to, get on the ballot, elimination of property tax. It's just very important. And this midterm, we have our gubernatorial race is an off-year election. And if we don't get a MAGA governor, Ron DeSantis is term limited out. He's not running. What his future plans are, we don't know. But if we do not get a MAGA Republican governor in the governor's mansion in November, everything Ron DeSantis has done will be reversed. I got my problems with him for the betrayal and running against Trump. You know all that. But he is a great governor. We've never had a governor who's done the things that he's done. And if we don't get a MAGA Republican like Byron Donalds in the governor's mansion, we're going to lose that momentum. And we may never get it back. Florida, if you guys remember, Republicans have won Florida since 1998. In 1998 is when Jeb was elected to governor for the first time. And that's when Marco Rubio went to Tallahassee. And since 1998, this has been a Republican state. However, when it comes to presidential elections, even during a lot of those years, it's been toss-up state. This is a solid red MAGA state. And most of it's because of Trump, but of course. But second, it's also because of Ron DeSantis too. Because we just have a great governor who's just done it. I wish he wouldn't have done it. And I don't know what Ron DeSantis is going to do during the Republican primary. It's a lot of times in these primaries, they don't get involved until after. I know Ron DeSantis is not perfect. We know that. But he's done. Those of us that live in Florida know the great things he's done policy-wise. There's no getting around it. When that hurricane hit on the Gulf Coast a few years ago, I've never seen hurricane cleanup like that. Remember the bridge to Sanibel Island was knocked out during the hurricane? He got it up immediately. I mean, who would have thought? It's so important. I cannot stress enough how important it is for Byron Donalds to become governor. And I know he did an event recently. He's got a debate coming up with Fishsticks, but he's not campaigning enough. I know he's a sitting House member. That needs to be part-time. We need, Ron DeSantis, when Ron DeSantis was running for governor, there was not a day, first time, there wasn't a day that went by that he was not out and about somewhere. Okay? And having a speech in a parking lot, at a school, in front of a Home Depot, at the beach somewhere. He still does this today. Almost every day he has a press conference somewhere. I saw him one day last week in the Keys dedicating a statue of President Monroe in Monroe County, the Keys. You know, I mean, that's what we have to have that's what we need to have from Byron Donalds. Now, in the first campaign, Ron DeSantis was expected to lose the primary against, I forgot the guy's name, the big sugar guy. And President Trump came in with the endorsement, and we won the primary. This Fishsticks campaign, I have never seen a primary gubernatorial campaign in Florida with this much momentum ever in my life, and I have followed all of them. And name recognition doesn't get it. You know, a lot of you know that Janet Reno ran for governor. Janet Reno was born and raised in Miami. She was a U.S. attorney in Miami, and she was Bill Clinton's attorney general, and she ran for governor. But she did not lose to Jeb Bush. A lot of people think I still have people mentioning this to me sometimes. They think that Jeb Bush beat Janet Reno in the governor's race. No. Janet Reno lost the Democrat primary. I want to say the guy's name, was it McBride? It's been a long time. Janet Reno, one of the most famous Floridians of the 90s, lost the Democrat primary to a guy that no one heard of before from the Tampa area, McBride. And the reason, and do you know why she lost the primary? Because McBride had a ground game that she didn't. He had the teachers union behind him. And the teachers union, they were organized, they were not only funding the campaign, he had a lot of funding, but they were organizing events all over the place. And Janet Reno and her campaign thought that she was just so famous and she had Bill Clinton's endorsement. It wasn't McBride. McBride was a Republican. McBride was a Republican who ran for governor, lost. He was in the House impeachment team against Trump. Who was it that Janet Reno lost? See what I mean? I can't even remember the guy's name, and he beat Janet Reno in the Democrat primary. Famous people that hold office, that have presidential endorsements, lose primaries all the time when they underestimate who they're running against in a primary. And I saw an event, and it wasn't just the events I've seen with Fishsticks over the weekend. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the calls after the top of the hour break. I'm sorry, guys. I got a lot to get off. A lot of news is broken over the weekend. After the top of the hour, we'll go to the phones. It's not just Fishsticks and all these events I'm seeing. I saw Byron Donalds come out on... I love Byron Donalds. I saw him speak once in person, and he's amazing. And I want him to be governor. I'm doing this to help Byron Donalds. I saw an event where he came up on stage, and I just think he seemed a little too assuming that he's going to win the primary, is how I took it. Fishsticks went to some event where Byron Donalds was the other day, of course, filming, with people filming on the iPhones, and tried to get in and was very confident. Look, you can see all this stuff on X that I'm talking about today. And Byron Donalds has not taken this guy down yet. I am not pearl clutching. This is a very serious threat. And no one, and the very fact that no one else here in the state of Florida, see, so goes Florida, so goes America. To win future presidential elections, we need Florida. If Byron Donalds loses the primary, we're going to have two options in November. We're either going to get this cosplay Republican as governor, Fishsticks, or a Democrat will win. I'm telling you. And if we don't get a MAGA Republican into the governor's mansion in November, we may lose Florida in the next presidential race. It's possible. I'm not exaggerating. This is very serious. I wouldn't be talking about this so much if I didn't think this was this dire. Oh, man. Coastal weight loss secret. I'm so excited. We're going to be, our cruise ship is sold out. A month from now, I'm going to be somewhere in the, I don't know, we're going to be in the Gulf of America, the Caribbean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know where I'm going to be 4 weeks to the day right now. I don't keep that, but I'm going to be somewhere either in a beautiful port or on board the ship. And those of you that saw me on the cruise last year, I'm over 35 pounds lost in total from Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I lost 25 pounds before the last cruise. I've lost even more since then, and I'm looking great, guys. And I lost all this weight for last year's MAGA cruise, and now as the 10th annual cruise is just a few short weeks away, I'm so excited to go even lighter than I was last time with my flat stomach, my chiseled jaw, and my neck back. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call, guys. All right? You can do it too. Whether you want to lose 35 pounds, 55 pounds, or 450 pounds or more, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you lose that weight no matter where you are. Call and set up your no-charge consultation, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We're going to take our break for the top. Callers on hold, you stand by. I'll go to the phones after the top of the hour. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show, back right after this.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about bye-bye pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Tom Laporta Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house, and there's never a downtime. They're old school, which means you call them up, they'll be there. How many times have you called somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse, weather, traffic, whatever? Tom Laporta, what a class act, the workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Thanks, Dr. Appleton. Now do what Dr. Appleton did. Pick up your phone and call Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing on your cell phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportaroofing.com. In the cold silence of space, some battles are fought with weapons. Others are fought with memory, loyalty, and blood. From author Alan Grangenet comes the powerful military sci-fi space opera where family and fate collide. Galilee Rising, Two Brothers, Two Ships, One Reckoning. Available on Amazon. In Galilee Rising, two brothers are torn apart by violence. Each believes the other is gone forever. One becomes a relentless hunter, operating outside the law. The other rises within the ranks of a powerful interstellar fleet. Both are driven by justice. Both are shaped by loss. And both are moving toward a reckoning that could change the galaxy. Blending heart-pounding space combat with deep emotional stakes, Galilee Rising is a story of duty, revenge, redemption, and the cost of survival in a universe at war. Galilee Rising is available now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Galilee Rising, Two Brothers, Two Ships, One Reckoning. From author Alan Grangenet. Order your copy right now on Amazon. On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
All right, we'll be back in less than a minute, guys. We're still in radio station break. Hold on. If you're on hold, stand by. The show has flown by today. Okay. Stand by. We'll be right back. 15 seconds. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. It's Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. I'll recap all the latest on the Trump assassination attempt at Mar-a-Lago, but I'll take some calls. You're welcome to call in about anything I brought up since 6. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's John. I'm calling from Daytona Beach.
Hey, John, what's on your mind?
Hey, I was just calling to see if you were concerned about Fishsticks splitting the vote on Donald.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. You know, he's running in the Republican primary. It's what I was talking about the last couple of segments. This guy is getting large turnouts at all these events he's doing all over Florida. Big ones. Okay? A lot of turnout.
He's saying a lot of the right things.
No, not really. Everything he says is wrong. What's he saying that's right?
No, I'm not saying to me. I'm saying that to a lot of people, they're hearing him say a lot of things that make sense to them. But I don't necessarily. I think it's a little too far. I think that he's talking about some things that are pretty kooky, actually.
Well, give me an idea. Give me an example of something you've heard Fishsticks say that's kooky.
Well, he's talking about this where basically if you're coming from the Northeast and you want to move to Florida, he wants to impose some $50,000 or $80,000 tax on you for moving here.
I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he said over the weekend. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like he's a what I would call a cosplay Republican, a fake Republican pretending to be one. Over the weekend, Fishsticks said that in a divorce, if the husband committed adultery, the property shouldn't get split. That the wife should get everything. Well, that was the same day that Byron Donald's first wife came out and was attacking him in the Daily Mail. I mean, who think? Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm not endorsing adultery and cheating on your wives, but that's a pretty radical position he took. Pretty insane. It's not normal.
Yeah, and it's like to. I'm from up north, and I lived abroad for 20 years, and I moved back here because most of my family moved from New York down here. So, but it was either come back to Texas or Florida, and of course I chose Florida because it's a cooler place.
It's the best state. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I have some friends who were born here, and that I'm friends with and stuff, and they're talking. They like him because he's talking about how Florida locals will benefit and blah blah blah. And I just don't see it. And some of these people are
he's also running. He's
people.
also running on the anti-Semitic ticket, right? They're hiding behind, calling it America First. We shouldn't be sending money to Israel. He said over the weekend, when I'm governor, I will never meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. He's catering to that anti-Israel, anti-Semitic crowd too. Now, I don't know if these hundreds of people that are showing up at all of his campaign events are real or if it's Memorex. I don't know. But what really got me troubled is when he was at that MAGA grocery store in Naples and had a town hall. It's a very famous grocery store, and the people that own it are MAGA people. I mean, they've got cardboard cutouts of President Trump in the aisles of the grocery store. So the people that own that grocery store are MAGA. And then Fishsticks did a town hall there the other day. He had this podcaster, this girl from Australia who used to work for Patrick Bet-David, moderating the podcast. And I thought, that there's something here.
He was on Bet-David or whatever. I saw that interview where it was on, he sounded like an aide to some sort of radical to me.
Well,
I'm not,
by the way, that grocery store in Naples is called Seed to Table. Seed to Table. They're good people, good MAGA people, good Trump people, but they let this happen at their place,
Right.
And I don't know how that happened, but and I know they're Trump people. But so is he tricking people?
He's also pushing this heavy on agriculture. Wants to bring back all the orange groves.
Well, that sounds great.
That sounds good, right? Sounds good. But I think there's a reason why they're not there anymore either. So I don't know if he really does any homework.
I haven't seen an orange grove filled with oranges in years in Florida. It's almost the orange industry is all pretty much over in Florida, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. My friend's father used to own he used to own the collective that used to sell to Sunkist.
Mm-hmm.
So they're loaded.
Yeah.
She's got 2 private jets. I mean, this was a World War II vet, and they're amazing people, and they do a lot for everybody. But he sold out of that.
But see, this thing with Fishsticks,
it wasn't profitable.
This thing with Fishsticks, okay, is to me. I see the Mamdani campaign strategy to primary a well-known and beloved candidate out of running. I agree with you. He's not going to win in November. If Fishsticks got the nomination, he would probably lose in November, and we would have a Democrat governor. But their goal is to stop. They don't listen. The Florida's Republican Party is still run by Jeb Bush. I know you guys don't like to hear that, but Jeb Bush is one of the party bosses at the state level. They don't want a MAGA Republican in the governor's mansion, and the Democrats don't want a black Republican in the governor's mansion. Be the first black governor of Florida, okay, and that's a Republican. So this is. There's something going on.
Democratic black candidate didn't go so well, did it?
No. All right. Appreciate the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? I didn't quite get what that was. You're on. Where are you calling from?
Phoenix, Arizona. Name's Dave.
Yeah, Dave in Arizona.
I just rejoined the show. I heard you on the pre-show. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but you were speaking about the attempts on President Trump.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you said the fiasco at the UN with the escalator.
Oh, I forgot about the UN. Yeah, they stopped the UN, and the president stopped moving on the escalator at the UN, and I do believe that was I forgot about that one. That was also an assassination attempt.
That's all I had, Brad.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, there's so many assassination attempts on President Trump, we can't even keep him straight. That's right. After the break, I'm going to recap the update on the attempted assassination of President Trump at Mar-a-Lago yesterday morning. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Hey, I just wanted to point out a couple of quick things about this shooting at the shooter at Mar-a-Lago.
Mm-hmm.
In the Carolinas, Brian, north, south, and in Georgia, there isn't a 3-day waiting period. If you pass the NICS, you can walk right out. So I'm assuming that's how he got that shot.
Well, the point, and maybe you're right, but here's the deal. No one in the press is reporting anything on it, right? I mean, if this had been an attempt on a Democrat, they would have already been at the store where he bought it.
Yeah. No, they because it just absolutely They don't want to cover it. They want to cover anything that makes Trump look bad. They cover anything that shows that those guys have lost their mind. I mean, this kid was created sort of out of a prodigious clay, molded by this, molded by the media, the
Correct.
hate and the constant lying. We're all from hell, according to those guys, except this projection on their part. It's very sad. Also another thing, Brian, I think I'm pretty sure you would agree with this, that the security footprint at Mar-a-Lago would be times 10 if Trump were there. And they did stop this guy. So, I don't want to, there's plenty of reasons to get upset at a lot lot of things going on in the government.
Excuse me. I was, no. While that may be true, there's still tons of security when he's not there. And
Exactly.
we'll never know because he's dead. But the shooter, most people don't know that he was not there. He goes there every weekend this time of year. He had some things in D.C., so he didn't come down this weekend. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But during the winter cold, with this blizzard they've got in New York, okay?
And Massachusetts.
Yeah,
right now.
It's very unusual during this type of weather for the president not to come to Mar-a-Lago over the weekend, and he didn't. So this guy didn't know that he wasn't there. And this is
maybe
this
it's
is
wishful
crazy.
thinking on my part, but I just, maybe it's wishful thinking, but I would just like to think, and maybe that's a cloud that doesn't
JJ,
exist.
if this was a one-off, I would
better.
agree with you. But we've got this, we've got the sniper's nest, we've got the golf course, we've got Butler, we got the motorcade. The guy reminded me of the escalator at the UN. Come on.
Yeah. It's really unsettling.
Every couple of months, there's
This
something
kid,
every couple of months.
Well, they're creating, and the other thing is too, though, this kid. It's just like there's a lot of kids like that. There's a lot of kids like this in the United States that have been basically they're a shell just waiting to be filled up with something. And they get filled up with this crap that the media and these people peddle. It's a fantasy, but they believe it, and then they act out on it. And that's the scary part of it, because they just keep coming.
Well, JJ, all of these Trump assassins, we don't know anything about them. The golf course assassin had an AK-47, right? And which is the chosen weapon of Ukraine, if you remember in the early days. We don't know anything about him. Where did he get that gun? We don't know. Where was he? Yeah. Now this guy here, have you seen it confirmed that he, because the sheriff, Rick Bradshaw, hold on, I'm answering the lines here. Rick Bradshaw, the sheriff, he said he had the shotgun and the gas can. They told him to drop him. He dropped the gas can and got in a shooting stance. Well, that doesn't sound like somebody that's inside a vehicle, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So did he?
He was walking.
So did he? When he saw the employee leaving Mar-a-Lago, did he drive in and jump out of the vehicle, or did he run in?
Or did he?
Where was?
Did he run in, walk in fast, or something? Yeah, no, there's a lot of details. Hopefully we'll get all of this information. They said body cams were worn. That'll be interesting. I hope we get to see that. But it's just.
And I've had the Secret Service roll up on me twice at Mar-a-Lago. One time, right in front of that gate. My friend Rob, who he and his wife go on our cruises, and he lives down the street from Mar-a-Lago. And we were walking down the street talking in front of Mar-a-Lago, and we stopped for a second. The Secret Service jumped out. Can't stop here. Keep walking.
I remember you. It's like 6, 7, 8, whatever, 8 months ago, talking about that.
Yeah, and if you remember, one time I was live.
I was happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was fine.
I'd like to hear more of that.
Yeah, and I was, and there was one time I was YouTubing, live streaming on YouTube in front of Mar-a-Lago, watching the sunrise, and the Secret Service pulled up behind me and was watching me for like 30, 40 minutes. You guys remember on that live stream? In the SUV behind me, and this guy got in.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, it's unsettling. It's very unsettling, without a doubt.
All right, JJ, keep warm in Massachusetts. Okay. Now, I'll ask you this. Do you know what the most dangerous heart problem is? What's the most dangerous heart problem? You know what it is? It's the one you don't feel. In a moment, I'm going to give you the number to Life Imaging FLA. And, calling Life Imaging FLA can be the most important call that you make this year or ever in your life. A quick scan can tell you what years of guessing can't. Stop wondering. Start knowing. That's what I did. One call, one scan. Get the answers now. All right? And Life Imaging FLA, they have locations in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan right now with a few minimum requirements, valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. Call us on hold. Stand by. Back after this. All right, stand by, guys. If you're on hold, stand by. All right. We'll be back in just over a minute, guys. "30 seconds, we'll be back." Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, I'll take another call or two, and we've got a lot to cover. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Brian, and I'm just calling you to tell you to unmute your mic.
Yeah, okay. Oh, my goodness. Just weirdos. I'm going to tell you that... Well, let me before we get back to that story... Did you see what they did with the Canadian hockey team after they lost to the United States yesterday? Did you guys see that? Did you see that? It was one of the strangest things I ever saw. And what they did was give them stuffed animals. What was that about? Were those comfort animals? Why did they give the Canadian losers stuffed animals, little tiny stuffed animals? It was very strange. And let me tell you, I believe that victory yesterday was not equal to the victory of the Miracle on Ice team against the Soviets. I think it was greater than that victory. We're involved in a major conflict with Canada right now. A major conflict with Canada. And for us to beat them right now isn't just a PR victory, for us. It's devastating for them. But this is their national sport. Now, I don't follow hockey at all. It's not my sport. I'm not into sports that much. I'm in the news. I'm into politics. But I always assumed, and maybe I'm wrong about this, I don't know, you hockey fans out there? I always assumed that the NHL teams were filled with Canadian players. And that one of the reasons that the Canadian or the NHL did well is because the teams were filled with Canadians. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's just what I kind of assumed. And for us to beat Canada in their national sport, I understand the Miracle. I don't want to take anything away from the Miracle on Ice team. I watched that movie with Kurt Russell a few weeks back. Remember the Miracle on Ice team met with President Trump a few weeks back? And after that, I went and watched the Miracle on Ice team movie called Miracle with Kurt Russell. It's a pretty good movie. And I was a kid. I remember when it happened. I was a little kid, but I remembered it. And it was a big deal during the Cold War. But hockey is not the national sport of Russia. I don't know what their national sport is. I guess waging war against Ukraine, it seems to be it. But we beat them in their national sport and won the first gold medal in a long, long time. And the girls won too. So there's a little extra humiliation to that. And when they gave them those stuffed animals at the end, I just didn't quite get that. Did you? No, maybe I'm missing something. Is that normal with the Canadians? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. It's Jim from New York. How you doing?
All right, Jim.
Good. So about you're talking about the first of all, hell of a win yesterday, and the best was President Trump talking to them in Catch Patel in the locker room. I don't know if you saw that clip. It was pretty sick, actually. Mm-hmm. But you were questioning about NHL players. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of Americans and a lot of Europeans as well.
In the NHL, yeah. I just assumed that. I mean, I never really followed it. But to beat them in hockey is extra humiliating, isn't it?
It is. It's and it's funny. I live in New York, but I'm down on vacation at a resort, and there was a lot of Canadians and Americans watching the game at the bar yesterday morning, and we were happy, and there was Canadian tears being shed yesterday. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, my phone was blowing up with DMs and text messages when it happened. I've not watched any of the Olympics because of those guys trashing the United States at the beginning, and then not only did we win. We had the guy came out that had his teeth knocked out, praising the country, praising the United States at the end, which was nice.
Absolutely.
So we started the Olympics with anti-Americanism, but ended on a high note with pro-Americans.
Yeah, it was a home run, and that's a crummy part. Like I like the Winter Olympics, but you're right. The first part where these people trashing America and Trump and just not appreciating.
So what's going on with Mamdani? Mamdani is asking New Yorkers to come out and shovel snow, but to shovel snow, you need 2 forms of state-issued photo ID, and a Social Security card, or proper work permits. Why is Mamdani requiring documentation to shovel snow, but not to vote in New York?
It's amazing that the hypocrisy is priceless, isn't it? You sit here and you just shake your head, and they look in the mirror, and they're okay with it. It's absolutely amazing. It's ridiculous.
I saw that story over the weekend, and my first thought was, this is like a joke, a parody, like Babylon Bee or something. I'm like, this, and I went to the website, which is done through the sanitation department, and it was true. You got to have to shovel snow. You got to have 2 forms of ID, a Social Security card. Can you believe it?
And Brian, the storm a couple weeks ago was half as much as now. And that was an epic fail. So never mind the stupidity of him looking for identification to shovel snow, but they're not going to clear this thing out for a week.
Yeah.
And I'll be interested to see my car is still buried in snow when I get back Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
It's ought to be fun. We'll see
I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't be able to drive in snow. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, this morning it was like 50, and I didn't have a jacket on. I went outside. I was like, oh, my goodness, this is terrible.
Yeah, my sister and Tamara actually have been complaining all winter.
Yeah.
She don't have heat in her house.
No, well, we've got heat, but, we don't like to use it. All right, appreciate the call. All right, you take care. If you're on hold, stand by. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. You know, I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Before I went to Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I really thought that losing weight was impossible, was difficult, involved lots of exercise, involved starving myself, involved eating foods that I didn't like. I never dreamed I'd be able to have a flat stomach again. And then I was worried that if I did start a diet and then I lost weight, I'd gain the weight back. And then I met Dr. Zuckerman over a Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Not only did I lose over 35 pounds, I've kept it off without any surgery, without intense workouts. I didn't starve myself. I eat foods I would normally eat. And I want to highlight no pills or injections or shots. I saw a picture of the Olsen twins doing an ad for something over the weekend. I can't even look at the ad. They just don't look healthy. They look like those celebrities that take those shots and things that are all a fad these days. With Coastal Weight Loss Secret, there's none of that. And you look great, natural, and normal, right? Which is how you want to look. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call, 561-247-6300, and schedule your no-charge consultation. They can help you lose weight no matter where you're located. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300, and online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back.
Leadership isn't always about standing in front. Sometimes it's about standing in between. Author Shinta H. Hernandez, Ph.D., shares a powerful memoir about leadership, shaped by challenge, visibility, and resilience, and leading from the bridge. What every storm has taught me. Available on Amazon. From privilege to hardship, from public policy to higher education, the author found herself navigating spaces that were never designed for her. And in those moments, she discovered a different kind of leadership. Leading from the bridge, where cultures meet, tensions rise, and transformation becomes possible. This must-read, thoughtful, and deeply personal book introduces the Bridge Leadership Framework, offering insight for leaders facing complexity, uncertainty, and high expectations. Whether you're an emerging leader or seasoned executive, this memoir offers clarity, integrity, and purpose for the storms every leader must face. Lead with courage, lead with vision, lead from the bridge. Order your copy right now on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Leading from the Bridge, What Every Storm Has Taught Me, from author Shinta H. Hernandez, Ph.D.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
All right, 10 seconds, guys. Welcome back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jeffrey.
Okay. My name's Brian.
Yeah. Why you on patrol?
Oh, my goodness. Got it. Right before the beat. Oh, did you see this call to C-SPAN? Did you see this call from John Barron to C-SPAN? You know, there's a mystery going on as to whether or not this is President Trump calling with a fake name. That last caller reminded me of it. to C-SPAN. Listen to this. Good call. This was live on C-SPAN over the weekend. Is this really Trump?
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier, I assume she's a woman, she's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, they got rid of that. So what do you guys think? Do you think that John Barron is really President Trump? All right, now at the top of the show, if it's not, whoever that is, that's a great Trump imitation, because that sounded just like, and they got the sense of humor too. I like that jab about Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. At the top of the show at 6, I covered this, and I want to cover it again because the media are going to silence this story. You know, the Trump assassination attempt over the weekend. They're trying to disappear this story from the news like that. I mean, it's, you know, the reporting of it is very vague. There's not a lot of detail. They're not sharing much of anything from the interview. From the press conference, there were no questions, you know. And there was a big drop that came out late in the day yesterday. They're of course telling us that this is another Trump assassin who's a MAGA guy. That's not the case. His parents and members of his family are MAGA people, but I haven't seen anything that says he's a MAGA person. But we did get, through text messages obtained by TMZ, and this has been reported in the New York Post and many other publications, and that was his motivation. And they said that they have the text messages, which they've published. He was obsessed with the Epstein files, and his obsession with the Epstein files is what got him to get in his car in North Carolina and drive to Florida and do what he tried to do. And, I think back, I've had a lot of calls over the last year about the Epstein files, even some today, like the last guy that I just hung up on. And if you think about this, I think you'll agree with me. I think most people that are listening to the program will agree with this right out of the box. But if you don't, right out of the gate. But if you don't, if you think about it, you will. Out of all the calls I've gotten in the last year about the Epstein files, have any of them been from normal-sounding people to you? Every single person that's called me on this program over the last year over the Epstein files has been a weirdo, a pervert, a Democrat pretending to be MAGA, or just a nasty person using profanities. I haven't talked to a single person who was halfway normal that's called in to talk about the Epstein files. This is, and the people that bring it up on the program, the callers, they don't care about the victims or anything else. They say that, but all they care about is slandering President Trump. That's all they care about, is slandering President Trump. And here their slanders have resulted in another assassination attempt, and a young man's dead. This guy would not be dead if you guys had not been obsessing over the Epstein files, and you know there's nothing there that has anything to do with Donald Trump. So all these people, Marjorie Taylor Greene and all the rest, that are always trying to portray that Donald Trump had something that, you're no better than those Russia hoax people that allowed them to recruit to find somebody to go to Butler, a patsy there. You should be ashamed of yourselves and really think about what it is you're doing and saying. And you could tell from the calls, these Epstein file people, they're all weirdos. I mean that. I haven't talked to a single one who was a normal person. They're all nuts. Every single one of them. And they have different levels of dysfunction, no doubt about it. But we have a clear motive now for what he did, why he did this latest Trump assassin yesterday morning from at Mar-a-Lago. But the media are already covering up the story. And if you go through the latest updates, we're not getting any visuals. We're not getting any aerials. We're not getting any questions. There's no visits to his hometown or the golf resort. I mean, this guy was an artist, right? He drew golf courses. If this had been a Democrat he went after, we would see their artwork on television by now. None of it. And we have 3 known assassins. 3 known assassins. There's been other attempts that they're unknown, but this guy at Mar-a-Lago we know. The golf course assassin we know. Now he's in prison for life, but we know. And Dylan Roof. But we don't know much about any of them. In fact, this most recent one, we know more about him than the other 2 combined. And they're trying to tell us today that he's a Trump supporter. Give me a break. Trump supporter, yeah, just like Dylan Roof, they said is a Trump supporter. Just like the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, they say he was a Trump supporter. And then look what we found out about him with his furry friends and all. People that are MAGA, Trump supporters, don't try to assassinate the president, and they don't shoot Charlie Kirk dead either, okay? But it doesn't stop them from trying to pursue that. And most of the stories that I've seen about the Mar-a-Lago assassin, at some point in the story, there's a rising amount of violence, political violence on both sides. And then they talk about Hortman, who probably has something to do with the Somali pirates, because she voted against that Medicaid funding in Minnesota that the Somali pirates are getting rich off of. No, they don't tell us anything. You know, I was talking with JJ about where they say he got the shotgun. He bought the shotgun on the way. Where? Was it in? Where's the store he bought it from? Had they gone to the store? Have they interviewed the people that work at the store to find out what his attitude was like when he came in and bought the gun, I guess on Saturday? Or was it Friday? Did he buy it in Georgia or the Carolinas where they don't require a waiting period on those guys? We don't know. You know why we don't know? Because the media don't want you to know. They want people to craft, use their own imagination and fill in a story as opposed to the true story. All of these assassinations, Butler, the golf course, this, and Charlie Kirk, are never Trumpers. Now, this guy here we don't know enough about. We know that he was obsessed with the Epstein files. So what does that mean? Does that mean he got worked up on his own and did this? And drove all the way from North Carolina to do this? Or is he another patsy like the golf course guy or Dylan Roof and Butler? We don't know yet. Maybe we will, but we don't know yet. But I don't expect to learn much about him, because the media don't want us to know. Now, if we get more information on what he did in South Florida, I'll report it, and I may do another video, because I want to show people how close this attempt was to the golf course. So when I get more details as to what happened, I very well may do an updated video on this, as well as show you where the sniper's nest was. That's disappeared from the news too. No, the political violence in this country is coming from one side, and one side only. And that side is the Democrat side. Don't let them convince you of anything different. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about the Sloman's Home Security offer of a free home security system with free professional installation and 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all that for just $24.95 a month for 5 years. All you got to do is give them a call. 833-283-5050. It's a free home security system and professional installation, absolutely free. Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door or window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access, so you can check in no matter where you are in the world. Give them a call right now, no matter where you're located, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, let's see here. Do we have time? Yeah, we'll try again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
All right.
First off, the guy calling into the C-SPAN one, I'm pretty sure he's a comedian.
I know.
I've seen him on, actually, Newsmax.
Yeah, I'm
He's very
kidding.
good.
I think it's that Sean guy.
Yes.
His last name starts with an F. I think that's who it is. Because when he said Schumer doesn't even know how to make a cheeseburger, that kind of sounded like Sean to me. Because I've heard him use that line a couple times. So I think it was Sean Farai. I can't remember how to say his last name. But you know who I'm talking about. He's very good.
I'm not sure about the second name.
Yes.
But it is very troubling. One thing that's got me a little bit troubled, there's all these attempts in Palm Beach County, not only the ones that actually went through, but you remember they found the sniper's perch on the way to
by the
Palm Beach airport and stuff like that. Yeah. Very, very troubling, The other thing, the one that you covered in detail, the golf course one, nobody else covered that. I mean...
No, even still, we know nothing.
No, they wanted the whole thing just... We don't
know...
The guy had his trial?
We don't even know we don't know how he got the gun. We don't know where he was staying when he was in Palm Beach before. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. Mm-mm. And the lady that saw him driving away was never interviewed, I heard?
Never identified. Yeah. And Palm Beach seems to be a very vulnerable place. I mean, maybe the president shouldn't come here right now.
Well, it really is.
And if you guys, I made a YouTube video, which many thousands you have seen, of the president going from the airport to Mar-a-Lago in the Beast, and they were going full speed down Southern Boulevard, full speed. I felt the wind off the car, and it used to come by at idle speed, which tells you there's a elevated threat level. And by the way, that's how it always goes through Palm Beach now. He doesn't go slow. They go full speed. You can't even hardly see the car. It's a blur.
And before he would stop and kind of wave to the crowd and stuff like that. Evidently, the Secret Service is worried about a heightened tension here because, I don't know. There's some vulnerability in Palm Beach County? I just don't know. But
and I don't want to hear this crap that, the president wasn't there. The guy still got on the grounds.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's very troubling. Very troubling. And just kind of what basically walked away. We don't know if he ran in or drove his car in. We don't know. There's mixed reports on it, and it's the reporters don't want to cover the story because it makes Trump look sympathetic. The other thing is the problem is that the television media is they control this narrative and they just make things disappear and emphasize things that don't matter and make things disappear that do matter.
Yeah,
and that's very troubling.
No,
very troubling.
No, well, you know me, I'm going to be covering this. I'm not going to let this go. I mean, it has to be covered, and it is very important to publicize the motivation, which was he had an obsession with the Epstein files, like these lunatics that call me.
Right. Are you going to try and do like a reenact it from outside of Mar-a-Lago?
Well, I don't think I'm going to go to the front gate at Mar-a-Lago where the assassin tried it. I don't think that would be welcome. I think that if I went there with a camera these days, I don't think it would. Now, I have film there. I may still do a documentary because I got a lot of footage from other videos I've made when I've gone there. So I may still do a, there was one time I went down there and made a video. And I was by myself, and I made a YouTube video, and I'm walking by. I walk by Mar-a-Lago in the front where this gate is, and I come back, and I stopped across the street.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
And I'm filming and everything, and this guy came over and started talking to me in shorts and everything else. I didn't realize he was a federal agent. I had no idea. This guy was in shorts and boat shoes and everything. He was a federal agent.
Wow.
Just trying to figure out, what I was doing and why I was filming and all this stuff,
Well, I think anybody who hasn't seen the golf course video should take a look at it because it was really well done and really.
Well, thank you.
That was the go-to place for information.
Let me tell you, I am so proud of my golf course documentary. I mean, that was really good. Yeah. That was really good. All right, listen, I got to run. I appreciate the call, but I think I may be the only person covering the Mar-a-Lago assassination attempt. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Good morning.
Hey there. And we have about 35 seconds, so I'm just going to keep you on the line here.
Okay.
All right, we're back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals starting off the week?
Well, the rally continues today after Friday's big rally. Gold trading on Friday in a range of $4,980 all the way up to $5,109, and closing near the highs on Friday, up $110.70 at $5,105.90 the ounce. Silver was up $6.09 on Friday at closing at $84.52, while platinum gained $84 at $2,157, and palladium was up $75 at $1,743. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $5,100 to $5,177. And right now we're at $5,158 the ounce. That's up $42.10 this morning. Silver up $1.63 at $86.15 the ounce. Platinum down $12 at $2,145 the ounce. And palladium down $8 at $1,735. So continuing, gold is leading gold is leading silver higher right now. Silver kind of lagging in this rally. If silver can get up past $90 an ounce, we could be on our way to maybe tackle that old high of $120. But right now we have a lot of resistance up around that $90 area for silver. We'll see how that holds out this week. Gold could break out. If it gets above 5,200, we could see gold tackling its all-time record highs of around 5,600. So exciting week ahead of us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so are we in a buy recommendation right now with silver at this price?
Yeah, I think you could definitely take a stab at adding to your positions on silver right now, and then wait and see on maybe the remaining portion of your purchases to see if we break out above that 90.
Yeah, that'll be a great day again. I love it. Listen, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. If you can stop by his shop, you really should. I mean, it's literally a museum over there at William Youngerman's. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can give him a call toll-free, 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, and find both his address and phone number online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. So the girls' Olympic team, the hockey players, won too. And Kash Patel was in the locker room with them drinking Corona cans. I'm not big into the Corona cans, but hey, listen, beggars can't be choosers. I like Corona in the bottle myself, but the president called the guys through Kash Patel, and Kash Patel, he puts his phone on speaker, and the president talks to the U.S. Olympic hockey team that just won, and you can see what Kash Patel has the president as on his phone. It says DT. It's capitalized, capital D, capital T. I don't know. Is that what, if I had the president's direct number in my cell phone, I don't know if I would call it DT. But isn't that what Marjorie Taylor Greene had? Maybe I'd have the Prez, POTUS, I don't know, but DT. But anyway, here's the president on Kash Patel's speakerphone.
Watch 1 minute. 1 minute. And by the way, your goalie played not bad.
Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him. How you doing, Don?
I have seen hockey goalies have slightly worse games. Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. And that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if it's not going to begin anytime soon, right? And, you know, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you
how excited they
are. It's the coolest night. It's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Okay, I got to cut it there because Kash Patel, he's had a couple of beers and he drops an F-bomb. But, you know, see, this is the thing. At the beginning of the Winter Olympics, it was really disgusting, wasn't it? We had those two guys and then that girl, all Olympians, come out and trash the United States and trash ice. And I'd mentioned a few times over the last couple of weeks, I'd not watched the Winter Olympics, my wife and I, and we always watch the Winter Olympics. We didn't watch it. And then we ended on such a high note with both the women's and the men's winning the gold in hockey. And they're both going to be invited to the State of the Union, the president says later on in the call. And, you know, one of the things, Make America Great Again, and these liberals, make America great again for who? And they always want to talk about segregation and all that. That's one of the things about Making America Great Again is bringing back American pride, right? Bringing back American pride. And that's something that's been lost a lot. And it's been lost for a lot of reasons. But young people have been brainwashed into hating our country and thinking terrible things about it. And you've seen the interviews with the players and everything else, and they love the country. They're proud to be an American Olympian. They're proud of the United States. There's not going to be any knee-taking at the State of the Union by these guys. And they're going to meet the president at the Oval Office, too. There's not going to be anybody taking a knee. Now, what the media is hoping for is there'll be one of them will refuse to go to meet with the president or something. I don't know. They're probably doing some research trying to get someone to do that. I don't know. But it's nice to see young people not only win, and beating Canada is extra special because it's Canada's national sport, national pastime. Hockey is to Canada what baseball is to us, and with all the conflicts going on. And then you've got these proud Americans that are the Olympians talking about Team USA. They're not out there talking about, ice and all of that, which is a welcome relief from what we've been getting. All right, let's see. Yeah, we got time for some more. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Yep.
You know what? You and President Trump have in common?
Yeah.
That you love to insult people.
Mm.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I have none.
You don't like to insult people that just.
No.
Do you like it?
No. The reason is Friday is open phones on the show. Today is Monday, and nothing you're saying has any relevance to. I mean, listen. Okay, a never Trumper, a Trump hater, just tried to assassinate the president again in our own community. You're worried about phone etiquette.
Do you think? First of all, why are you yelling? You don't have to yell.
You don't have to call.
Bit, okay. I know I don't have to call, but you don't have to yell. But here's the thing: you don't think some of the rhetoric.
I'm sorry if I'm, I see. Unlike you, Unlike you, yeah, I'm angry and raising my voice. They've tried to kill President Trump how many times in Palm Beach now? The golf course, the motorcade, the sniper's nest. 4 assassination attempts in Palm Beach. 4. Everyone should be raising their voice today. Unbelievable. When it comes to heart health, early detection helps you live long enough to see those most precious moments in life. Stop wondering. Start knowing. That was with me. I'd been concerned for years, as was my entire family, because of my high cholesterol. I assumed I was going to have a heart attack before I was 60. I just did. I went over to Life Imaging FLA. I had the heart scan, had the cancer screening too. And now I know. I got the answers. I don't have to wonder anymore. No blockage, no heart issues, no cancer. The most dangerous heart problem of all is the one you don't feel. I'm going to give you the number. This could be the most important call you make this year. Life Imaging FLA has locations in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements. Valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. I got to tell you, this show flew by, and we had a major technical snafu in the 7 o'clock hour, and Mike, our board op, took care of it like it went boom, like it was nothing, and the show must go on, right? And go on it did. I appreciate Mike for getting that worked out on the show today. But today's show flew by. This has been the fastest 3 hours of my life. It really has. The show's flown by. You know, with the last call there, aren't you angry that we've had 4 assassination attempts against the president in Palm Beach? This is in our own community, and this keeps happening. There's nowhere that he's more loved than in Florida. You know, and things like this, I'm in shock that they don't have systems in place to prevent what happened from happening. And I don't want to hide behind this thing, well, the president wasn't here. It's almost like an excuse that people, well, he wasn't here this weekend. By a miracle, he usually is, especially during these cold months. Listen, everyone, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care. Have a great day. God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow at 6 a.m. All right, we're clear. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe before you go. And do me the favor of liking the video before you go, if you don't mind. Please like the video. Liking the video helps get the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. All right? My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you next time. Take care.